Hey guys, Dan Lucchesi here with the Lucchesi Property Group. It is time for our November market update, and we're going to be talking about the October data as always because that's the most recent we've got. So anyone who's been paying any attention to the market, I think is reasonably aware that prices have been dropping a little bit. The amount of activity in the market is down. So what's going on in the market? Well, let's look to the data. I find that to be the most telling of the accurate story. And so we're going to be taking a look at this slide. You'll see it on your screen here. And this is really a market summary. So a lot of times I dig into individual slides. This, I think, is a good month to just recap a lot of the high level patterns and trends. So first of all, let's look at the active inventory. It's now increased to just over 5,000 units, and it's been floating around that mark. Year over year, that's 156% increase in active inventory in the market. That's pretty significant. It is still lower than the number of units we would need to have a balanced market where it's balanced between buyers and sellers. So this market still favors sellers in the negotiations a bit, but it is not the seller's market that it once was and was for many years. So here's the next thing though, pending and closed sales. So this represents the units that have been put under contract by a buyer, as well as the units that have actually closed. Pending is down year over year 41%, 41.2%, and the closed units are now down 34.8%. So those are pretty significant decreases in the market. So what we're seeing is you have inventory that's up pretty significantly, and active and closed pendings are basically the stuff that's getting taken out of the market is down. So the number of units active on the market is growing, which pushes us closer towards a balanced market. And if that pushes past the balance point, then we have a buyer's market. So I'm not saying that we will see a buyer's market in 2023. It's possible, but I think we will just continue to see a diminishing seller's market. And we might actually hit or land close to that balance point sometime in 2023, which is good for the market as a whole. It gives, sellers can still get their house sold. It's not hard to sell your house. And at the same time, buyers can get a deal that they can be happy with and feel good about. So have some choices. Now, here's something else that's noteworthy. If you take a look at that slide, again, the expired listings are now up at 166.9%. So let's just call it 167%. Again, that's a dramatic increase, especially in a market where there was almost, I think at one point we were down to like 20% expired listings. And now we're up pretty significantly. And that's a large number. 726 units expired in the month of October. So part of that story means that it's not a given. It's not an automatic for a seller to sell a house. And here's the story of the past is that everything's selling and it doesn't matter which realtor we hire, the house is going to sell. Well, that was a misunderstanding even at that time because it was yes, it probably would still sell. The question is at what price? So not every realtor is producing the same result or never was producing the same result for their sellers. So you don't want to be working with that realtor that gets the bottom half of the average, right? Because an average is a bell curve. So you've got the people that are beating the average and you've got the realtors who are lacking the average. And, those realtors that, are, you'll know who they are. You get what you pay for. Let me put it that way. So we're going through a period of time right now where there's a lot of competition for those those listings. Even though the listing inventory is up, there's still a lot more realtors in the market, and so there's a healthy competition. But don't be fooled into thinking that you can hire any realtor, because now not only will you run the risk of not getting the best price for your property, you also run the risk of it not selling at all. And it takes skill, it takes expertise, and the better experienced and caliber of realtor that you are working with, the better result that you're going to get. And one of the realities of it is working with better people costs a little bit more money. And so don't be afraid to pay a realtor what they believe they're worth if you believe that they're the right realtor for the job. So what else? Median sold price. So that's down month over month, 0.8%. So we've seen over the last couple of months the price drop a little bit, 0.8%, let's call it 1%. It's noteworthy. It's not a huge difference, but it's noteworthy. What's interesting though is the same median sold price is actually up 7.8% year over year. So what that means is from October of 2021 to October 2022, the price you would pay for that same home is up 7.8%, or the median is anyways. Average is actually higher. The average is 8.7%. So the market still went up, but it went up at a slower rate than it did from 2020 to 2021. And then the last data point that I just want to touch on for you guys is the percent of closed transactions that had a price reduction. It doesn't matter how much the price reduction was, it's that they had to reduce the price in order to get the property sold. This number is pretty surprising. 48.5%. 48.5% of the homes that closed in October had a price reduction. So almost half of everything in order to get it sold had to do a price reduction. And I think that that's a byproduct of people still, sellers and inexperienced realtors still living in the past a little bit and thinking that their house is still going to sell for that price that it could have 6 months ago. And the truth is it isn't. And you've got to be watching the market very closely. Even with the best information, the best of intentions, you're still seeing homes with price reductions. And so guys, I think if there's any moral to the story here, it's that the market is shifting. It's not, I wouldn't even say has shifted, because it's still shifting. It's changing month to month, and in some cases week to week. And a lot of it is being driven by the Fed controlling interest rates. Now, even though that's indirect, the market, the lending market and the consumer market respond to that. And so we've seen where the Fed raises rates and lenders actually lower rates. A better interest rate to follow is actually the 10-year US Treasury. That is what lenders are basing their lending terms off of. So anyways, guys, look forward to connecting with you. If you have a property that you need to get sold and you need to make sure that it sells and gets the best price possible, contact us, or if not us, at least another top performing realtor. This is not the time or the place to try to save a dollar. As my grandmother used to say, you don't want to step over dollars to pick up dimes, and that happens in this industry a lot. So anyways, guys, I look forward to hearing from you. If you just want to chat about the market and the data, awesome. If this video was helpful to you, please subscribe to our channel so that you get these videos every month consistently. And then feel free to like it and share it with anyone that you think needs to hear it. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you next month.